Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. So as you can guess by the title, today's video is TBR Jar chooses my April reads. I've been doing this for almost every single month. I don't think I did this for January, but I've done it for every other month and it's been really fun. It's given me some sort of like guidance on where to go for my monthly TBR. Have I stuck to the TBR? Most of the time, no. But this is really fun to do, so I like doing it. We're in a bit of a different setup today because today is pretty rainy and dreary, and so the lighting over towards where my bookshelves are really bad to begin with, so it's just too dark out there to film by my bookshelves today. So I'm gonna do this in kind of two different parts. I'm gonna pick out the prompts first. I'm going to pick out the 5 prompts that I usually do, and then I'll go choose the books later. Let's get this started. Give it a good shake up. So the first one I am picking. Okay. So the first one is a book from Kindle. Okay, this is fabulous because I have been reading a lot more on my Kindle lately. So this is literally the perfect prompt. The next one will be book by a fave author. That's exciting. I don't know what I would choose, but that's really exciting. I feel like this is going a lot quicker than it usually does, but I still have to go pick the books. The next one, friends to lovers trope. Okay, that's also a really good one. I've been really into my romances lately. I think just because, again, what I've said it so many times, while I'm in uni, just romances are so much easier because they don't take as much brain power. So I feel like I'll have a lot of romances on this TBR, which is perfect because it is the last month of this trimester, which is super exciting. The second last prompt, last book I bought. I just bought books today, so this is a good one. And then the final one, a YA book. Okay, I feel like this is the best prompts that I've picked out ever. Like, they are all such good prompts for me and the mood of reading I'm currently in, so I feel like I finally will actually read most of this monthly TBR. So let's go pick out some books and I'll be back to show you my selection. Okay, so I'm back from choosing the books from the prompt. I feel like I have a really good selection here. I am genuinely really excited about this month's TBR and I am hoping that I actually get through all of these. So we'll start with a book from Kindle. So I've been reading a lot on my Kindle recently, which has been really good. I've been really enjoying it. There was a good period of time where I just kind of didn't read on my Kindle at all, which was sad because I genuinely love reading on my Kindle. I just didn't have any books on there that were like really piquing my interest. But I've just started a new series, so I am so excited. So that series is the Calamity Montana series. I saw Rachel read it ages ago, and so I've kind of been intrigued. So I've just started the first one, which is The Bribe. I am about 35% of the way through it at the moment. So for my Kindle read, I'm going to choose the second book in that series, which is The Bluff. So I am really excited about that one. So far I'm really loving this series. It's super easy to read. It doesn't take much brain power. I'm loving the characters. I'm loving the tension between them. I'm genuinely so excited to continue the series. So The Bluff is the second book in the Calamity Montana series. It is, I think, like interconnected standalones, small town romance, just all the good vibes that you're wanting. So the second book is with the best friend of the first main female character, and she then moves into this small town for her friend. She meets this guy at a bar, and that's just kind of all I really know about this book. I try and go into most books not knowing too much other than like the basics, but it's the second book in the series, so I'm pretty sure I'll like it. I have already been introduced to this character So I'm excited to see who the love interest is. I've not yet met them. I don't know if I will in this first book. It's a small town romance, like interconnected standalone. So I'm very excited to see how that one goes. So the first book for this one is The Bluff by Devony Perry. Okay, so the next book for the prompt is book by a fave author, and so for this one I have chosen Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas. As I've kind of discussed before, I am doing a reread of the Throne of Glass series, and somehow it's just kind of worked out that I'm just rereading one book each month, which I'm honestly not mad about, because when I first read it, I really rushed through the series. I read the entire series in March, and I don't think I actually really took in the series. I mainly listened to it, if I'm being honest. So I remember listening to Kingdom of Ash and just getting so emotional because I was so in love with these characters. But the thing is, I don't really remember much of what happened in these books other than like big bits and pieces. So I decided to reread the series. I'm currently reading Heir of Fire, which is really good. I'm really taking it all in this time. I'm really getting to know the characters more. My views and opinions on characters have changed. As I think I've mentioned as well, it's been like over 4 years since I originally read the series, so I'm really excited to be back in this world and rereading it. So Queen of Shadows is the 4th or 5th book in the Throne of Glass series, just kind of depending on how you read it. There are so many different reading orders for this, but this is towards the middle of the Throne of Glass series. I can't really say too much on what it's about because it's genuinely in the middle of the series. You've probably all heard of what Throne of Glass is about anyway. I always tell people when they're reading it that the first 2 to 3 books, depending on how you read it, is so different to the rest of the series, and I love the rest of the series. And rereading these first books has really made me realize all the like Easter eggs and plot points that have been put into those first 2 books to set up later that I obviously didn't realize the first time I read it. But yeah, I'm so excited to continue the series. So the next prompt I think was the last book I bought, which I ended up buying 2 books today, which are both on this TBR list because it's just worked out that way, which is really good. So the next one is Dance of Thieves. So I bought this today. It was like a buy one get one half price sale, and I was like, well, how could I not? So I ended up getting this one. I remember this being super popular back in like 2020, 2021 when like BookTok was really starting to take off, and I just kind of never really got onto it because I think when these books were first released in Australia, they were really expensive from what I remember, because we were getting like the US editions, and in Australia those are so expensive, like upwards of $50. So I just did not want to pay that for a book. But I've seen them a lot more recently and they've always kind of intrigued me, and I really love the covers. So the first one is Dance of Thieves, and then the second book is Vow of Thieves. So if I really like this book, I will end up getting that one as well. But with buying it today, I'm so excited that this has become on my TBR because I have a habit of like buying a bunch of books and not actually reading them, which is really funny because I did buy like 4 books from Melbourne and none of them are on my TBR. So they're just going to be sitting on my shelf for a little bit, but that's fine. Now, while I've seen a lot about these books, I really don't know too much about them. But this one just says, a formidable outlaw family that claims to be the first among nations, a son destined to lead, thrust suddenly into power, 3 fierce young women of the Rattan, the Queen's Premier Guard, a legendary street thief leading a mission determined to prove herself, and a dark secret that threatens the entire continent. Set in the world of the Remnant Chronicles, when outlaw leader Jace meets reformed thief Kazi, a cat and mouse game of false movement ensues, bringing them immediately together in a battle that may cost them their lives and their hearts. So you don't really get too much of what actually happens in this book, and I kind of like it, but I genuinely have no idea what this book is about, but I'm excited to read it. So the next prompt was Friends to Lovers, and for that one I chose Betting on You by Lynn Painter. This is the other book that I picked up today. Technically it is a Friends to Lovers because they have a bet the main guy bets that like opposite genders can't just be friends. So then they create this friendship that then obviously leads into romance, but they do become friends first. So I would say this is a friends to lovers. It's not a childhood friends to lovers, so that's okay, but it is a friends to lovers technically. So, but the only other Lynn Painter book I've read was Better Than the Movies, and I genuinely really loved that book. I remember reading it a couple years ago when it came out. I think I was homesick. I want something simple and easy to read. I'm so sick of like movies and YouTube, and I just wanted to read something. So I read that book and I really, really loved it. I loved the concept of it. I loved the writing of it. I loved how it was very me, because I'm very much a like rom-com girly. So reading about someone else who really loved those things was really comforting. So I really enjoyed it, and I've been eyeing off this book for a while. I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. I think I'll really like it. I really like Lynn Painter's writing from that one book, and so I'm genuinely excited. So the next prompt was a YA book, and I'm going to be reusing a book from last month that I didn't end up getting to, but I really do want to read, and that is If Only I Had Told Her. This is the second book to If He Had Been With Me. It is basically that book told from the guy's point of view. I've also heard it's told from other people's point of views as well. Now, since originally picking this book and picking it up, I've heard mixed reviews about it. Some people say it was a little disappointing. Some people say they really needed this side and these points of views. So I'm a little bit iffy on it, but I still do want to read it because I genuinely did really like that first book. So again, I can't really explain too much about what this book is other than it's based on that first book, just told from different perspectives. So I'm pretty sure I already know what happens in this book, so it's just told from a different perspective. I really want to know how the author has written this other perspective and what she does with it. I really am curious if she does what I think she's going to do or if she doesn't. So I'm very curious, but again, I wanted to put this back on my TBR for the month because I just haven't gone to it in March and I really do want to read it. Okay, so let's have a little recap of all the books I've picked. So the first one was the Kindle book, which was The Bluff by Devony Perry. Then we had Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas. Then we had Dance of Thieves by Mary Pearson. Then we had Betting on You by Lynn Painter, and If Only I Had Told Her by Laura Nolan. Then the final book that will be on this TBR is my April mystery read. You might be wondering, probably not, where the February mystery read is, and I'll explain it more in my March mystery read, but I've kind of just soft DNF'd the February book for now. I think I'll like it, but I think it's going to take a little bit more brain power than what I have right now, so I might try and read it in the holidays between my trimesters, so you might get it a little late, but I am still reading Marches. So those are all the books on my April TBR. Please let me know down below what books you're excited for me to read, what books you have on your TBR, what books you think I should get that I haven't read yet. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.